The Mason Mount saga has come to a conclusion, and it looks like he's joining Manchester United for £55 million plus 5. Manchester United caved even though they said they wouldn't. And we've got the full exclusive truth. What happened? Who happened? So many different PR agendas going. I've collated it. I've broken it down. Nice and simple. You're going to know exactly what happened. And we're going to decide who was lying and who's telling the truth. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Kavkas View. In today's video, we are going to be covering what happened with Mason Mount. Look, Mason Mount's situation is sticky, but it's one that I've unraveled, and I actually understand what's going on at this moment in time. I saw both sides of the argument, and we got the middle. The one side, the second side, and the truth. It always is the case. There's no side that is unblameless here, or whatever the word is. I don't know. We are also going to talk about Hakim Ziyech, how his move to Saudi Arabia has collapsed. What does that mean for him? But Christian Pulisic, why his future is in limbo, because AC Milan are doing the Italian club thing where they're being super picky and overly negotiating as if they have Edu as a sporting director. And finally, Levi Colwill hasn't signed the new contract that Chelsea have offered to him. Does this mean we need to start panicking? I'm going to tell you right now, no. I'll explain why and we can get into it. But first, let me give you the 411 with the Mason Mount saga. But before we get onto that, I need you lot to hit that like button because you made it this far. You clearly enjoying it. Do not be a freeloader. Support the channel. It's very easy. Number two, if you guys want to actually contribute to the channel in another way by leaving a super chat, very grateful. Never a mandatory thing. So if you want to enjoy it and leave a normal comment, really helps the channel. Best way you guys can help me. And in the pinned comment is my Instagram. Go follow me there. Oh, subscribe to the channel right now as well. We're aiming for 10,000 subscribers next month, right? We want to be doing that. Can we start with a bang? Come on. All right, Mason Mount, what are we going to talk about? Well, firstly, let's break down the deal. The deal is £55 million with 5 million in add-ons. And what we're hearing is that these add-ons are absolutely based on Manchester United's success in consecutive years. This is what we've heard from Matt Lord. This is what we heard from Fabrizio Romano. But what's guaranteed is that we're getting £55 million. And that, for me, is fantastic business. We got the here we go for Fabrizio. We found out that Mr. Money Mace is on £250,000 a week with incentives that could get him up to 300k based on his performance. Listen, go get your money, go get your bread. I am never opposed to anybody getting more money. If the money's in the game, why should the owners keep it? The players are the ones on the pitch. Let them reap their rewards. I've got no problem with that. He earns every penny because he's out there running. He's out there running means he deserves to get paid. What has happened that brought us to this moment? Because we're hearing two sides of the story. And Mount's camp and Mount's PR fan base have come out and said, look, Mason Mount never wanted to leave. He was forced out the door, kicking and screaming. Chelsea are coming out with the players forcing his way out. We need to understand which one's the truth. And this is what I've collated together from hearing all the different articles covering this story throughout the months. Because this, let's be honest, this is not a story that's just happening in 1 month or two. This has been going on for years. What do we know? We know that these negotiations started with Marina Garaskai. So this didn't only start in the Bowley era, this started in the Roman Abramovich era. When Roman was our owner and life was better. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really prefer Chelsea under Roman a lot more than under Bowley. It was a lot less stressful. Mount rejected 2 contracts. Reason being, Mount's camp was asking for money that Marina just was not gonna give it. Marina said, no, you're not worth that money. I'm sorry, we can negotiate a new fee. I do not believe you're worth this money. Bowley takes over. Bowley and Bali start negotiating a deal from June to around about October before Mount was going away for the World Cup. Whilst Mount is at the World Cup, he assumes that there's a deal agreed verbally, and when he comes back, he's going to sign that deal. The deal, we don't know how much it's worth. The number is unknown, but it was a number that Mount was happy to sign. The estimate is around about 200 to 210,000 pounds a week. We don't know, we can't confirm. During the World Cup, and this is where things gets really messy, Win Stanley takes over. This is what we understand. Win Stanley just says, hold on, we're not paying Mount this, and pulls the contract from the table. Mount comes back, Mount is frustrated, as you should be in that situation. We had a verbal agreement. No one signed anything, but you can't be pulling deals away last minute like this. It's classless. Win Stanley didn't care. In February, reports from Mount's camp are that Chelsea offered a 1-year contract extension with the fee being somewhere in the region of 200,000, and that would mean that Mount was on a 2-year deal, and hopefully within the year his performances improved and then they could renegotiate a new deal. But Mason Mount's camp said no. we're not going to sign that deal. It doesn't benefit us in any way or shape or form. You either value us or you don't. And this is where it gets interesting. Because, guys, Todd Boehly liked my tweet. And a lot of you said to me, Alex, you're reaching here. No, Todd Boehly liked my tweet when I was bantering Mason Mount. I said Mason Mount's gonna overhit a pass to Mudryk all the time and had the Henry gift where Henry was like, Shamit, can you play a one touch? When he was saying that. And Todd Boehly liked my tweet. And that was the beginning of the end for me. Because that's when I started realizing this guy's gone. When Todd Boehly's official account is liking tweets of fans bantering Mason Mount, the relationship's broken. You think Mount's camp didn't see that? That tweet went out viral. As in, I had so many different accounts message me in my DMs. I had so many different accounts go lol and tag Todd Boehly in. You think that did not get back to one of Mason Mount's PR? Come on. It most definitely did. I'll say one thing, kind of unprofessional from Todd Boehly, but at the same time, I don't think he really cares. So at the end of the day, get over it. I kind of get an assist for getting Mount out of the club, don't I, for that? Technically, in the comments below, let me know. Do I get an assist for that? Like, was I the catalyst that opened Todd Boehly's eyes? Now on to more important things. What happened? Apparently, Chelsea did not value Mount at the level that Mount's camp valued him. And I think this is it. And this is how I'm going to simplify it. Mount's camp thought Mount was worth starter money. Chelsea thought, no, you're not, geezer. You're really not worth the starter money. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. Because if Mount goes and gets £250,000 plus 50,000 in add-ons, then you know what? So be it. Let that man go and secure himself a great future financially. But at the same time, Chelsea have no obligation to offer you that kind of money, especially when they don't value you at that sum. And what's more annoying for me is people saying he was forced out the club. He wasn't forced out the club. He could have taken a team-friendly deal. And people said no one would have taken a team-friendly deal. Yes, they would have. There are individuals that take lower contracts because they want to be at a place that makes them happy. And evidently, if he loves the club and he loved his lifestyle in London, he loved Chelsea the way he says he does, 150k is not going to change your life too greatly, my friend. Sign 150k for the next 3-4 years, and then you're going to be 28 when your next contract comes up. You didn't want to do that because the money is important, and guess what? I've got no problem with it. But I don't need the nonsense from Mount's camp saying he was forced out, he never wanted to leave, because the reality is the deal would have been on the table. Chelsea would have retained him as an asset at 150k a week. They could have integrated some bonuses, but he didn't want to do that because he wanted the big boy contract, because the reality is Mount has an ego. And that's the truth. That's my personal opinion. I don't know what you lot think. All of this is coming from different articles, so it's all alleged, but this is how I've compiled all the stories, and this is how I think things operated. This is how I think things must have happened. Let me know your thoughts. Now let's move on to the others. The next story is about Hakim Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech's deal looks like it's fallen through. We thought we were getting a good chunky £12 million, get Hakim Ziyech off the wage bill. However, the deal fell through, and this should tell you lot one thing that I'm starting to realize. When you get a here we go, it actually don't mean here we go. There's no done deal. Until that paper is signed, it's not done. And guess what happened? Hakim Ziyech agreed the paperwork, agreed everything, and the only thing left was a medical, and the deal was apparently even signed to the point that subject to the medical, unless something happened, the deal would go. And guess what happened? They found an issue in his knee. Saudi club Al Nassr found an issue in Hakim Ziyech's knee, and they said, hold on, this is a problem. Hakim Ziyech, we're going to offer you less money, allegedly. And Hakim said, no, that's unacceptable. And a lot of people are sitting here and saying Hakim's stingy. Hakim's out of order. Like, it's life-changing money. What's the difference between 25 million a year or 17 million a year? And I'm just going to tell you one thing. Hakim Ziyech is 29 years old. He's in the prime of his career. Hakim Ziyech could still play in Italy, could still play in Spain. He could still play in England at a lower level than Chelsea. Or maybe at this level at Chelsea, because Chelsea's 12 at the moment. But he can play in France. He can go to Holland. He can go anywhere around Europe and still play to a great standard. So by Hakim going to Saudi Arabia, he's sacrificing his career essentially. He's losing all of the competitiveness from... So he's getting, like, in my opinion, remunerated for equally for going to Saudi Arabia by a tax of an inflated salary. But yet people think he should be just sacrificing it and going for less money. No, the reason he's going there is because he was going to earn stupid money of 25 million a year. So if he doesn't want to go now and he wants to sit on Chelsea's bench, he's within his right to. He's got a contract. I've got no issue with players doing that. I don't want them complaining. I don't want to hear them in the papers that they're not playing. I don't want to see them moping around. I don't want disgusting body language. As long as you're happy, smiley, and not an issue for the team, sit your contract out. Chelsea gave you the deal. It's their problem. But I do think this is going to get resolved one way or another. I do not see Hakim Ziyech part of the squad come the latter stages of the transfer window. I think he'll move on, whether it's to Saudi Arabia or somewhere else, we don't know. But Fabrizio has said the deal is off as of this moment. It could reignite, but we don't know. Gazzetta is giving us a new update regarding Christian Pulisic is an individual that has literally, I think, 12 months left on his deal or 2 years left on his deal. And Chelsea are trying to shift it. Chelsea are looking for a fee in the region of 28 million euros, which is close to 24 million pounds. However, Milan are doing the Italian club thing when they say, you know what, 18 million, he's a depreciated asset, we'll take him off your hands. We're doing you a favor, basically. Thank you for Tomori, or thank you for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. So now we're going to take another talented player off you, we're going to make him good, and then flip it to another club for around 80-90 million pounds. I don't think that's acceptable. If I'm Chelsea, I don't cave. I'm not selling him for 18 million euros. I think Pulisic adds more. 18 million euros, it is beneficial for Chelsea on the balance sheet. I think Christian Pulisic is a better player than 18 million euros. I think Christian Pulisic's appeal in North America is bigger than 18 million euros. I genuinely believe there's a better player on Christian Pulisic than 18 million euros. You give me 25 million euros, maybe there's a different conversation. I am not letting this guy go for less money than Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Under no circumstances can that happen. He has got more marketability that we have seen than Ruben Loftus-Cheek at this moment in time. He is a better player, in my opinion, in his position than Ruben Loftus-Cheek at this time. So I'm not allowing AC Milan to do this when I know you just got Tonali money. When I know you got 70 million euros, do you really think I am going to go and say, you can hold him for 18 million? No. Whether it's a 5 million loan with an obligation to buy of 20 million euros, make it work. Make the numbers work and run us RP. That's the simplest way I can put it, and that's just my opinion on this process. Now the final story, and the one that everyone's panicking about. Look, Levi Colwill has been offered a new contract by Chelsea. We don't know how much the money is. There will be news that comes out. Fabrizio Romano's reporting it, and Nazir Cancelo was ahead of the curve 2 to 3 days prior, and he basically said the deal's there on the table. When Levi gets back from the Euros, he's going to decide whether he wants to sign it. He hasn't signed it yet because he wants to speak to Pochettino. Meltdown amongst the fans. The fans are panicking. The fans are literally melting down. Oh my God, we just lost Mason Mount. Oh my God, we're getting rid of all the youth players. Calm down. The guy's at Euro under 21. He's in the last state. The last thing he needs to be focusing on right now is a contract when he's still got 2 years plus an option of a third, in Chelsea's opinion, as long as he plays a certain amount of games. When he gets back, he gets into training, he speaks to Pochettino, we're going to realize how good this guy is, and more importantly, he's going to understand where he stands in Pochettino's plans. Then he'll decide whether he wants to sign a new deal or not. Brighton are willing to break their transfer record to bring this player in because they believe one day this guy's going to be worth the big bucks. And I agree with it. So Chelsea better do whatever it takes to keep him, give him all the assurances he wants, and when I tell you, first game of the season, he needs to... For me, it's a back four of Reece James, Thiago Silva or Fofana, Levi Colwill, Badiashile. Badiashile is injured, it means Levi Colwill's playing. Simple as that. I don't think it's too complicated. By the way, this is all the news, but before I go, I'm going to tell you guys now, I am planning on making a video. It's called the 2030 plan. The Todd Bowley's Chelsea exclusive plan. What are they trying to do? What is our idea of what it's going to become? Is the interest there? In the comments below, let me know by saying 2030. If I get enough comments, I will make that video. That video will explain what Chelsea's vision is. Why are they signing so many young players? Why has the contract negotiation changed? And more importantly, what do they perceive is going to happen with the academy and the multi-club system? I'll explain all of that in one video so you guys actually understand the plan. And then from there, we can go on and make more videos that you guys will learn from outside of the news. I want to start making story-based videos. Let me know if you guys are interested in that. And once again, make sure you hit the like button. It goes a long way. Subscribe to the channel. Guys, I want to hit 10,000 subscribers in this month. I want a crazy month of subscribers. So if you made it this far and you're new, make sure you do it. Share this content out with your friends. If your friends like football, support other teams, share it to them. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'm out.